It's Friday, so let's get into making these tarot cards. Today we're doing card number 5, the Hierophant. This card usually depicts a religious person in a very formal kind of environment, so like a church or somewhere kind of sacred where just that quiet is very important. They're usually wearing 3 elaborate vestments, which represent the 3 different worlds. They also have their right hand raised in a sign of blessing or benediction. It's also the same hand that the magician has raised, if you remember back to that card. They also generally are depicted carrying the triple cross, which is a sign of the Pope. They also have, usually kneeling at their feet, 2 different acolytes or disciples that look to them for education, for advice, for following, and shows that they are a very reputable person in their community in that kind of way. If you were to pull this card in a reading and you got it in its upright position, it would mean you value tradition, you're really good in social groups, you like conformity, you should strive for more education and knowledge, and you're very strong in your beliefs. If you were to pull this card in its reverse, it means there's some unconventionality or nonconformity going on. Maybe you need to seek some new methods, or maybe you have some ignorance in something, or it even could mean rebellion. Mostly in its upright, it just means that you embrace and seek out conventional means of doing things, conventional means of relationships, workforce, money management, that kind of stuff. If you were to do a love reading and you pulled this card and it's upright, it would mean that you feel safe and your relationship is safe. You probably are more attracted and gravitate towards more traditional partners and avoid people that could be considered taboo or maybe just a little bit different than the crowd you generally surround yourself with. It also means that you guys probably generally have a very similar belief system and you're very spiritually connected with each other, and that's a really big positive in a relationship. If you were to do a career reading and you pulled this card and it's upright, it could mean that it's a good time to start working in groups and kind of depend on the people around you so you can all brainstorm together and get through work and through the projects you're doing a little bit faster with a little bit more success. It also could mean that maybe it's time for you to seek out a mentor or try to look into some more education so that you can further yourself in your career.
Listen to the ending.
Listen, man. Hey, yo.
If you were to do a financial reading and you got this card and it's upright, it could mean that it's time to keep your money in kind of a safe situation with trusted institutions rather than trying to explore and find new ways to find money or get rich quick kind of things. It's just better to leave it in safe, trusted places so your money can keep growing and you can keep having that security. If you were to pull this card in its reverse, it generally means that you're probably feeling really restricted or even contained by too many rules or too many structures being put in place and you're starting to feel stifled. As a result, you might want to quit or you might want to run away to find more flexibility in your life. To kind of regain that control you feel that you've lost. If you were to do a love reading and you got the Hierophant in its reverse, it would mean that maybe you feel kind of stale in your relationship, or maybe you feel like you're values are not quite lining up with your partner, and maybe that's something to discuss with them and kind of work through or accept differences on. It could also mean that you feel like maybe it's breaking a little bit of a taboo for you, so it's kind of putting you in a weird spot. But now is not a good time to take advice or any advice from other people on your relationship. Really, what this is trying to say is it's time to be introspective and trying to think about what you want, think about what your partner wants, and find a way to get back on the same page, maybe. If you pull this card in the reverse for a career reading, it could mean that you feel a little stifled, like we talked about before, in the workplace where you feel like your ideas or your creativity is not being appreciated. And maybe it could mean that you're trying to do a bigger improvement on a project and you're getting denied. So you kind of feel pressured or just confined in that workspace. So maybe it's time to talk to your managers, or maybe it's time to explore other options. Just to really think about what you want from your work and how you can best get that. If you pull this card in its reverse for a financial reading, it might mean that it's time to look for a new financial institution, or maybe you're feeling like now is the time you really want to grow your money, try to find a little bit maybe of a risky way to get money, like cryptocurrency, or just some kind of side hustle that you really like and you've been meaning to kind of get to. Maybe now is a really good time to start dedicating to learning about those things and to try to implement what you can in your life in a safe way. The biggest thing is just to remain realistic and responsible for how you're approaching it and what you're actually doing with your money. So don't just go blow it all somewhere random, but be very thoughtful and very rigorous about what you're actually doing with your money, but it could actually really turn out in your favor right now. The astrological sign that corresponds with this card is Taurus, and its element is Earth. And with that, I'm going to leave you there. I'll see you at the end of the video, and I hope you enjoy the watercolor process.